Welcome back to Show Me Trucks. Gonna show you my new project, 51 Chevy carryall. First, let me show you what I've been working on. This is my 36 GMC, if you haven't seen it. Some of the things I've been doing lately is I took the letters off and painted those black. They looked really rough. They just painted the whole truck kind of green. And so they painted over all those emblems, which look like crap. But excited to see those looking a little better. Obviously, I'm trying not to paint much stuff on here. Like I did the wheels, obviously, and you know, I did a little bit on these rear hubcaps also. The black was missing on the GMC. If you haven't seen these boxes, the storage boxes, this front one's back on. I just have to work on the other side. I got some hinges in there. And then I gotta figure out a locking latch mechanism for that. You can tell the wheels set to the front a little bit because it's obviously going to move to the rear whenever your leaf springs move. So doing brake lines and everything on this truck right now. 36 GMC. It's got the 5.3 liter LS engine in it. So off to the other trucks. Since you probably last seen me, I was inside the garage, but it wasn't my property. They'd sold the garage, and so I had to move all my stuff out. So now I'm back outside. I'm real excited. I've been wanting a Suburban forever. They're pretty expensive to get a good one, and I definitely didn't get a good one, but you know, has a title, and the back seems okay. I just need the whole front clip and tons and tons and tons of rust repair, but I actually do enjoy doing that kind of stuff. I'm trying to decide exactly what I'm gonna do with this project, if I'm gonna lower it, put a newer engine in it, and disc brakes all around and make it really safe to drive, because I want my wife to be able to drive it if she wants to, or if we go to car shows and stuff. But this frame is super crusty. If the frame was a little better and all the suspension looked a little better, I'd probably consider just throwing a 6-cylinder in it and just driving it around. I do love these original also. I just went to the Hershey Car Museum over the weekend, and you know, I love big buses, and I like things stock, but I want it nice to drive. And if it's drums all around and rough to drive, she won't ever want to drive it. I just want it safe for our girl and the dog. But this is it. If you know much about these, they actually are on like a short bed chassis. There's a couple different mounts for the Suburbans, but like I said, it's super rough. These panels always rust out, but I wish they would have just left them there so I knew exactly where everything lines up. So once I get a front clip, I'll have to re-weld that panel, probably smooth out the whole firewall, maybe bead roll some panels for that. But like I said, I'm super on the fence on everything on it. It's just crazy amount of rust repair. I mean, when you got a, you know, 2x10 is your running board, you know it's good. It's all like riveted panels on and rusted out under there. All of these rear fender panels are rusted out at the top, which must be really common because they have like a kind of like a weather stripping piece in between the body. I'm sure it just holds water and rust out. And it's in Pennsylvania, and if you know anything about this area, everything is rusted out. So it's kind of cool because I do plan on painting this one. You know, like my 67 short bed will be all bare metal, and then obviously my 36 is all patina. Here comes Koa to talk to you guys. But this one will get painted, so it'll, to me, that'll be a little easier to do some of the metal work and not have to worry about saving original paint, stuff like that. I can make new panels and not worry about any of it. But fixing rust is obviously going to be an issue. Also, this thing's huge, so you know, there's tons and tons of things to fix. But I'm really hoping to find some of these moldings, maybe at Carlisle. I like it when these are chrome, but I also like them when they're painted, the body color. But stuff like this is gonna really suck, kind of fixing these beads around windows and stuff. But obviously, I want all the windows to work original. I want all the interior to look original. Maybe do different flooring and stuff in here. Yeah, so I like to keep the interior stock seats. I have the front 2 rows of seats. I had this front panel in there, and then the side. If you know, there's only 2 doors on these, so you flip that up and everyone loads in from the side. That's why this seat is narrower, and then the back seat is full length. obviously the back seat on these are always gone. So what I'll probably do is try to get a frame for a truck and modify the frame and try to make all the rails look the same. But like everything else, crusty, obviously needs some floor work. And then, you know, I'll obviously redo all the seats. I want everything in here really nice, but like I said, I just want it original on the inside, and then maybe the running gear will be better, you know, disc and maybe fuel injected, maybe an old engine, who knows. But the metal work on this is gonna take a minute, so I might actually, once I finally get the 67 done and the 36 done, I might just do metal work first while I'm trying to sort out what I'm doing with the frame, and if I'm gonna build a whole new frame for it that's not all crusty, and maybe, you know, 2x4 box tubing, and make this thing super safe. Maybe some wider tires, we'll see. Probably some artillery wheels on it, but this is what they look like. They make two different versions of these. They have the clamshells, which kind of cuts off that body line right there, and then the top folds up. Those are my favorite to look at, but I've actually heard they're kind of a pain because it sits out so far. I don't know. I heard it's hard to load things in there, and you don't really sit on it. So I'm okay with the barn doors. The barn doors actually work pretty well, even though they don't lock very well. And since I had to move out of the garage, I had to put a bunch of my stuff in the back of here. But these have like wood floors on kind of the back half. Obviously you can't see it. They got these cool little levers for this other door. And yep, just barn doors. So it's like the panel, they just have windows on the side, but crusty. And I have some of the trim, some of the headliner rails I saved. I kind of just pulled them down because they were hanging whenever I drove it back, but a lot of it's there. It's just this side is fairly good, but this side is crusty, and who knows, I might be modifying that with new panels anyway if I put some wider rims in the back. But we'll see. I'm gonna have to sell the 36 and maybe even the 67 just to have money to work on this anyway. So it's a long ways away, but I'm excited on it. Obviously not excited on the rust, but man, when I was in California, I was trying to get these, and you know, they want 6 to 15 grand for an okay one, you know. And I mean, I've seen a 15 grand one out here too, but I don't have that kind of budget. But you can tell, like I said, these all rusted out. This panel's sticking way out farther than it should, but I'll have to rebuild all that. I'll have to rebuild all this little bead that sticks out. Here's another riveted on panel. And then these running boards are actually the short bed running boards, so maybe I can find that at a swap meet, or maybe I'll make my own, because by the time I work on this, I'm sure I'll have a bead roller, so I could bead roll some panels out. So this is the project. Hopefully I get to it in the next year, and keep this one. I'll be keeping this. Is going to be the family vehicle eventually. Hopefully make it good enough we can take it on road trips, you know, back to the Midwest and all around to the swap meets. You know, I think my lady's actually more excited on this than any of my other projects, because I usually have trucks, and we can't take the baby in those. So this is a 51 Chevy Suburban. Tell me what you guys think I should be doing to it. What engine you think I should put independent suspension in the front, or leave the straight axles? Or another thing I thought of is trying to keep the stock height. You actually kind of have some issues using newer suspension and keeping the stock height. One thing I did think is, if you keep the stock height but still run four-wheel drive running gear under it, you can keep your straight axle, and hopefully not have to lift it. That way I could still run little tires, and then if we go on camping trips and stuff, I'm not worried about getting stuck with these little skinny tires everywhere. But I don't know, that's a stretch, and I don't think I can keep all the stock floors with a transfer case and keep it the same height, because I obviously don't want it jacked up. I hate when these are really jacked up high. And also, I'm not into it being super low rider either. I had the 67 super low, and you scrape everything. And like I said, my wife's not gonna want to drive it if she's dragging everywhere, looking ridiculous. Hope you guys enjoyed the new truck. I've been trying to show it for a while, but it's been windy and it's starting to pick up wind right now. So I was trying to film it and show you guys before I put it in storage. So thanks for watching. Later.